Mode.
Zoom mode.
See that? You like that? It's pretty good. What
Yeah,
kind of wood
making
is
me
that?
nauseous.
Empress wood?
Empress wood, yeah.
Empress.
It's a very interesting looking tree, if you ever see it.
I've never seen it.
The
I don't
leaves
think.
are big
Maybe.
enough to use for an umbrella. They're
Oh,
huge.
really?
Yeah. The whole tree, about 40, 50 leaves on it. That's all it needs.
No kidding. Where's it
They're
from?
like this.
Where's it native to?
China.
Okay.
In China, they call this Paulownia.
Okay.
But in China, the growing season is rather different. So you don't get these real strong growth rings.
Yeah.
Okay. And the
Okay.
tree grows fast anyway.
Yeah,
so
you
the
can
growth
see it
rings are
does,
really,
yeah.
really wide. So here's the kick in the pants. If you get a piece of Chinese grown Paulownia, you don't get these growth rings. You don't get any of these marks like this. It just looks really homogeneously the same color all the way through.
Really?
Because it just grows and grows and grows and doesn't stop. The growth rings denote when the tree
Winter
goes
happens
dormant.
and goes dormant. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so here's the kick. He brought these trees over about 30 years ago, planted them on a couple hundred acres up there in the hills of Tennessee, right on the border of North Carolina,
Okay.
where they have a clear growing season and good soil, and they grow like mad. But about 25, 30 years later, he starts harvesting them because they grow huge, I mean, really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And they look like this. They now have growth rings in them, and they now have, actual, grain structure.
Yeah.
And they're stupid resonant.
Yeah,
It's
listen to
like-
that. Rub your fingers on it like
Yeah,
you did
it
before.
really. It's singing. It's actually hitting the note of the.
It's almost like you're doing the edge
glass
of a
trick, yeah.
crystal glass. Yeah.
Yeah. It has that
Yeah.
same
Listen to that.
tonality.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's almost like running your hand over acoustic guitar top that's just, it's thin, but it's glued together.
Yeah. Yeah.
It makes noise. It has a volume to it. This has a volume to it. It's quite loud.
Yeah. Yeah, you can
just
hear
doing
it.
that. You can really tell it's going to be a resonant acoustically instrument. And of course, it's lightweight because it's a very large percentage of it is air.
So this
Right?
it weighs. This is 3 pounds.
This is 3 pounds uncut, unrouted.
Unrouted. 3 pounds.
Yeah, that's just a general band-sawed outline shape. I didn't spend more than 30 minutes putting this together, okay? Because I just wanted to check and see what I would get out of it.
Yeah, just want to see what happens.
How the mass goes. So all I did was I took a piece of this Empress wood, cut it, joined it, glued it together. 2 hours later, I planed it, and then band-sawed it out.
He was trying. So, is there more to that with the rings or anything like that? I mean, or is it just like
Well, it wasn't-
it's not useful for what he thought it was going to be useful for? Is that what happened?
No,
or
what happened was
or just that
Paulownia
these
is a
American Paulownia now has structure to or grain to it, but
has a
Chinese
grain
does
to it,
not.
and the Chinese does not. Yeah,
Gotcha.
or at least so it would appear, and that's not the same.
Yeah, maybe not
because
the
you
true
can
for
get
every
Chinese
tree, right?
Paulownia that's grown in the north end of China.
I
and
got
we'll
you.
have some.
Yeah. So there's
But it's
variations.
different because the soil content's different.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
This is Tennessee grown Paulownia, and look at it. That looks like freaking swamp ash.
It really does, until you pick it up.
But it's not grown. But it's not grown in a swamp. I know, it's nuts.
Listen to that tone. It's cool. It's very cool. So you're making a nice telly out of it.
Yeah. Well,
Flame maple top, or
I
what?
actually sent a picture of this to a pretty sharp, well-known telly guy down in Atlanta,
Yeah.
and because we've been talking to him about doing some stuff, and I don't think that he was all that impressed with it.
Really?
Okay, he just didn't seem like he was impressed with it. But let me point this out that perhaps maybe he wasn't considering, or maybe other people don't consider it.
Okay.
This is just a core.
Yeah.
A lightweight core that's very solid.
Sure.
Yeah, it will actually dent. If I want to run my thumbnail through it, it'll leave a
okay.
mark in it. It's very
Very soft wood.
It's a soft wood. It's still considered to be a hardwood, but it's one on the softer side. But you could put a flame maple top on this. You could put a flame maple back on it. You could put veneers of any kind on it. Wrap the entire guitar in it and make a core out of it. Okay.
Yeah.
You could literally cut out a mahogany body, cut it all out, and fit one of these in it.
Inside like foam almost.
So the advantage of that is you have a core which doesn't weigh anything, but you still end up with a completely solid instrument that's about easily half its normal weight. Imagine I just built a really nice mahogany Tele with a maple top.
Sure.
Fully dressed out. It was 8
Right.
pounds, 12 ounces.
Yeah.
As to be expected.
Yep.
And it was pretty heavily carved.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say it was my lightest mahogany I had, but it was 30-year-old aged air-dried mahogany. So I know it was dry and it was good. And it was very resonant. It had a great sound, but it sounded very much like a Gibson, very solid.
Yeah.
This should probably sound much more like a sugar pine Tele or a swamp ash Tele. I've played some Polonia stuff that I've built from Chinese Polonia and thought, well, that's not bad tone at all. Yeah, it's light, and you do have to be really careful about neck heaviness.
Oh, yeah.
She'll nosedive on you if you're not paying attention.
Right.
So, but then I thought, well, wouldn't it be cool if we put a flame maple top on here and maybe a thin mahogany veneer all the way around the outside and mahogany veneer on the back?
Yeah.
Now you've got about a 4-pound guitar, 5-pound guitar before you assemble it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any weight savings is good.
Yeah.
But what you're hoping for is resonance and complexity of tone. Well, the more glue joints you have on one, the more complex the tone gets.
Oh, sure. I imagine.
Yeah. And so this will have one sound. A laminated top on this would have another sound. A laminated back would have a different sound.
And of course, the wood that laminate is comprised of would make a different sound too.
Yeah, it all starts to become the sum of the parts at that point.
Yeah. It's very cool. I like the lightweightness of it.
You know what? I got 4 ruptured discs in my back. That's why I'm always leaning on stuff, right?
Yeah.
And lightweight amps and guitars, man, I've specialized in that for years.